This is the review of the top Korean scary movies ever! Ah!
Bum, bum.
Bam bam! It's summer, it's hot, and in the afternoon, the rain comes down, the lightning strikes, and all you want to do is curl up on your couch with Mini-C. Me, not you. You have your own version of Mini-C, perhaps. I have Mini-C. And watch a scary movie. So Mini-C loves horror movies, and so these recommendations really come from her. I've seen these, and they're great. But topping the list at number 1 is a movie only 2 years old called The Wailing. As with most horror movies, I really just can't give you a summary. You have to watch it. It's about shamanism, death, and scary things. It's really more of a thinker suspense type movie than it is one that's going to have a lot of shocking moments with like ghosts coming at the screen and scaring you. It's not that type of movie, but it is a horror movie. If you're anything like me, you'll spend the next 2 or 3 days thinking over what happened and just end up researching everyone else's opinions online and trying to figure out which one's right. It's pretty fascinatingly confusing. Okay, Dewan's favorite of all time is called The Tale of Two Sisters. Chang Hua Hong Yan. One that we're gonna watch that's rated as one of the top ones is called I Saw the Devil. It's a 2010 movie. I don't know what it is, but it's rated high. We're gonna watch it soon. It was released at the Sundance Festival. It's about a spy agent in North Korea who goes back to avenge his past, and very horror type things happen to him, as you might expect with a horror movie. Tends to happen. Just recently, I just want to add real quick, we watched I Saw the Devil.
나는 악마를 보았다.
It was not a horror movie. I mean, it's about the horrors of your internal life, about how you can become a horror, but it's not a horror movie. It's more like Oldboy, I think.
No, I don't think so. It's more like a philosophical. 뭐야? Don't do me camera attack.
Anyways, it's not artsy like Oldboy, but Oldboy is about the philosophy of like revenge and stuff, and I thought this was...
Oh, well, I have different opinion.
Okay?
Let's delve into our differences.
Okay.
Western, Eastern.
Okay, last but not least in the horror category is R Point. It's a 2004 movie, and the Korean name is very similar, called R Point. R Point. R Point. What's so funny, Mini-C? R Point. R Point. This has a special meaning to us because it is based in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, and all the horrible, horrible, horrible things that happened, and the horrors happened amidst those horrible things, and just the horrors of a horrible tragedy, the devastating horrors of a horrible tragedy, caught on film, on R Point, R Point, R Point. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to the next category, which is comedy and action films. That was very dramatic. Thank you, I know it was. Moving backwards in time, 2012, the movie called The Thieves. Korean name is Taegukgi. You might think of this as the Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 12 of Korean film. It is also the 6th highest grossing movie in Korean cinema history. Next on the list is The Berlin File. Korean name is Berlin. That's how to say.
Oh.
I did well. A North Korean agent in Berlin gets cut from the job. Has to flee both North and South Korean agents to get away. Dun dun dun. 2015, and this is one that I think is very watchable, is called The Veteran, Korean name Betarang. It is the 4th highest grossing movie in Korean history. It's the tale of a rich boy, the heir to a very prominent company, who has a penchant for doing very scandalous and inappropriate things. And the prosecutor who wants to take him down, and the rich boy who doesn't want to be taken down, and the prosecutor who wants to take him down, and they fight back and forth. The reason I think it was one of the top grossing movies is when it came out is right when the Korean Airlines nut rage was happening. If you don't know about that, research the nut rage incident. And it's about a Korean Airlines rich heir who came to notoriety by throwing some food items at the flight attendants of her parents' airline. Kind of a jerk move if you ask me. 2016 is a violent prosecutor, Komsa Wi-jung. And is a prosecutor who looks only for the truth and gets it through rough, difficult, and trying methods. That was a bit too dramatic. I know, I'm sorry. As I mentioned before, Korean cinema is just exploding, and there are 2 in 2017. Number 1 is The Outlaws, Pomche Doshi. And this is based on Huksapa incident, turf war between Korean gangsters and Chinese gangsters. And this is based on a true story, and it's based in Gurodong, which is near where I used to live in Seoul. So it has a little bit of a personal touch to me. And secondly, of 2017 is A Confidential Assignment, Gongjo. You're gonna see a trend here with South Korean movies and their fascination with North Korea and North Korean military officials. This is a fictional tale of a North Korean special agent who goes on a mission only to find that his superior is stealing counterfeit money manufacturing materials. Upon being found, the superior flees to South Korea, and the special agent is tasked to find him in South Korea and kill him. It is the only time in Korean history, according to this fictional movie, that North and South Korea work together to catch a criminal. Folks, we're almost there. We have 4 movies and 2 categories left. The next category is Ancient Korean History. I have not seen this yet, but I should see it. And the reason is, when you move to Korea, you're going to be asked some questions that at first seem very normal. Then after you're there for a while, they're going to get old very quick. One of them is, do you know the kimchi? And the answer is yes, you should know kimchi. You should eat it, even if you don't like it, and just say, yes, I know the kimchi. What are the other questions? Do you know how to use chopsticks? Do you know about Hangul? And you should know about Hangul. You should know about Kim Sejong. Kim Sejong's an actor. You might want to know about her as well, but King Sejong is a historical, big, awesome president you should know about. And the other person you should know about, what this movie is about, is Lee Sun-shil. And he created the turtle boats, and he was a great admiral and a great tactician in the history of Korean tacticianariness and naval history. And this is a movie about him and how he won with turtle boats. And it came out in 2014, and it is the highest grossing movie in Korean history, which means I should watch it, right? The next one in this category is called The Last Princess. You also notice a theme in Korean movies about Japan. This is a true fact that I just made up, but if you were to add the movies together about either North Korea or Japan, they would outnumber the movies that are not about North Korea and Japan. That's a completely true fake news fact that I just invented right then, but it's probably true. The Last Princess, out in 2016. Korean title is Dokhae-ungju, and it's about the last princess of Korea, which is a sad story about an illegitimate child who later got recognized as a princess, then forced to move to Japan when she was 13. She had a mental illness at that point that she kind of grew out of, and then as she got older, she was able to move back to South Korea, but seeing her parents get a divorce, her mental illness came back, and it's a sad story about the last generation of Korean royalty. She's a recent figure in Korean history. I think she died in 1989. So it's an interesting recent Korean history story. Last category is fantasy or action fantasy. Da-da! The Age of Shadows. It was a movie created in 2016. Korean name is Miljong. It's about a Korean policeman who is tasked by his Japanese superiors to eliminate Korean uprising members. What will he do as a Korean person tasked to eliminate other Koreans? It's a period piece based in like the 1920s, 30s. And last but not least, the second highest grossing film in South Korean history is Along with the Gods. Part 1, The Two Worlds. It was just out this year, 2018. The Korean name is Shinhwa Hamge Taewabal. It sounds weird. I really should watch it because it's so popular, but it just sounds weird. And I'm not even a huge fan of like fantasy movies in the US. But let me just read you what it says about this one. Are you ready? Gangrim escorts Jahong to the afterlife, where he will assign a public defender to represent him in 7 trials in 49 days. Ooh, some division there. To find out how he lived his life and where he ought to spend the rest of eternity. Dun dun dun. So I just wanted to add a little bit. We just watched Along with the Gods. It's actually pretty interesting, mostly because it's a very different view on what happens after you die from an Eastern tradition.
So let's analyze differences.
So first of all, like on the Western side, you know, normally the whole thing is like you meet St. Peter at the gate and you try to convince him that you're good enough to get into the gates. Anyways, this one is you have a lawyer and you have to convince these different gods that you're good enough. 7 different gods. And it talks about 7 different values that I think are important in Eastern culture. Anyways, it's interesting. I learned a lot about the values.
And we're going to a library campus.
Last but not least is Train to Busan, Busan Haeng, which is out 2 years ago, and this is a representative zombie movie of Korea. I don't know, it's a zombie movie. Zombie movies aren't like great ever, This one's fine for a zombie movie.
I really enjoyed it.
Dawn really enjoyed this movie. Ah!
Sorry.
Maybe you should too. Dawn's killing things like a zombie. Anyways, comment below. What movies did I miss out on? What movies did I oversell? Where did I lie? What did I get wrong? What am I full of BS with? Anyways, that's it, folks. Comment below. For Biggie and Minnie C, this is Biggie signing out. Goodbye. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.